What's going on, Hancock County? Mitch Gibson here with the Inside Hancock County podcast. This is the first show in about 3 or 4 weeks, just because we've had some changes in the show. Recently posted of the new studio here in RE/MAX Realty Group. We're going to call this the RE/MAX Realty Group Studios, official home of the Inside Hancock County podcast. Appreciate my friends at RE/MAX, Mark Dudley Sumize and Hart Sumeyer, for allowing me to put something together inside their office. I think it's going to be an amazing opportunity not just for the show, but also for others in the community to highlight, broadcast, and showcase their businesses and also their different organizations to help the community grow and be as great as it always has been. So, kind of without further ado, I'm going to get into the show today. We've got an amazing guest, beautiful and the smiley Terri Stacy from 93.1 WIBC. And, drum roll, newly inductee into the Indiana Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
I know!
That is awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. It is an honor. It's about longevity. But it's really an honor. I'm born and raised in Indiana, so to be in an Indiana Hall of Fame for a career which I never guessed in a million years I would be doing, it's a surprise, and it's quite an honor.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thank
I know
you.
Seeing when I worked with you at MS, seeing the way that you put joy on everybody's faces and passion for radio and helping others was something I took from you that will always stay in my heart, and congratulations, it's well deserved there.
Thank you.
So I guess kind of to rewind, now
Okay.
that you're on the back half of your career, to kind of rewind of where you came from. If I remember correctly, you came from a town where I now live, in Knightstown.
That's it.
In Knightstown, good old Knightstown, Indiana.
Yep, home of the Hoosier Gym.
So that's where I'm at now. So I live there just off of 1100 North. I'm not going to give you my address because I might get egged. But that's where we're at, located now. So you were from Knightstown. You live in Hancock County.
I do.
You live in the Cumberland area. Kind of take us back through Terri's little lifestyle of where you kind of growing up and what led you getting into radio and then also as a broadcaster.
Well, I grew up in Knightstown, the greatest place ever to really grow up, a great size little town and a farm community, but a whole lot more nowadays. But it really was a great place to grow up. Loved Hancock County. I mean, Greenfield is where, we would go get groceries and we would do cruising to pick up guys. Again, that's where the cute boys were in Greenfield. So
Hey.
Hancock County, very close to my heart. And so when it was time, as I was progressing, I've lived in Indianapolis for a while, but when it came right back down to it, I really wanted to be back in Hancock. I wanted to be in Hancock County. So we've been here now for about 12, 13 years. But radio, that is not what I wanted to do. I really wanted to be a zookeeper. I wanted to work at the zoo and animals and all of that jazz, but that's what I wanted to do. So there was a job open at WIBC, and at that time WNAP. This goes back to 1985, 1986. They had an opening for a receptionist, and I thought, well, I'll take this job, and I'll stay here for a little while and wait for that job to be a zookeeper. And sitting at a front desk at a radio station, what a better job. I mean, it just was a busy job. It was really interacting with all employees and all of those listeners that would come in and pick up prizes, and I mean, it's just a great place to be. And I stayed for a while, and I was having such a great time. But then came an opportunity, and it was an Employee of the Year. I received an Employee of the Year award, and the prize, although now looking back at it, I think they kind of already had a plan, but the prize was to sit in a chair in the studio on a morning show with Jeff Pigeon and Bob Lamey and Fred Heckman and Joe Pickett. If any of those names sound familiar to you, that goes back a long way. But sit in there with them and kind of hang out and be a part of the morning show for a week. I thought it was the worst job ever. I thought, well, this isn't fun. This isn't what I want to do. I'm terrified. I don't want to sit in the radio. If I'm gonna win something, how about a day at the spa, or how about
Or a day at the
couple
zoo.
of movie tickets, or a day at the zoo, or something? That would be a better present than hanging out on the air for starting at 5 in the morning, mind you, 5 until 9 o'clock in the morning. That just didn't seem like a great prize, but. A week went by, and then another week went by, and they said, why don't you keep going? Why don't you just keep hanging out there? And I did, and before I knew it, I had been doing it for 22 years. So it was terrifying, and it was gratifying, and it was so much fun. And that's really how I got into it. It really wasn't anything, that was not a goal to be on the radio. It really was just something that happened. Now that I'm older, Mitch, and you'll get there too, when you look back at your career, you really see a path and how connected things are, and how that I believe that there is a plan. I believe in the plan, and that plan was for me to be doing what I'm doing. And so years went by, 22, 23 years, I was on the morning show at WIBC, and things started to change. That's just the way it is in radio. It always is ever changing. And before I knew it, it was time. You feel a time when it's time maybe for you to take a step back, let somebody else do it. I did traffic, reported traffic for 3 years after that. And now I am kind of winding down, as you said, and I'm working. I have a magazine show on Sundays, and I have a job of going to 250 festivals a year and events. Now I'm working with nonprofits, and I love that part of my job right now. I love working with the nonprofits.
Now I will tell you, the nonprofit world, that's kind of whether you've hosted or come to promote an event for us at the insurance agency, or whether it was the Halloween event that was taking place on Friday. When you say supporting those non-for-profits, I mean, is that truly, after looking, you look back at your career, you have that highlight of when did I enjoy my job, or what did I enjoy most? Would you say that this is probably one of the most enjoyable portions of your career so far?
I mean, it's a different part of my life, but when I really do look back at my career, and part of being on a morning show or being in radio is you're supporting, you're talking about nonprofits, you're giving them a platform to tell what they do and to help their mission. And that was always a part of my job. But now that I can focus solely on giving that platform to nonprofits and making sure they get the social media that they need and all of that, that is a great part of it. Because right now, I mean, the world is it's a challenging time. It's a scary time. It's a divided time in our lives. And so watching what nonprofits are doing and how they're able to rise above all of that and serve all colors and all people and all ages, they truly make the world go around.
Right.
In other branches, I mean, to get something done in other parts of the world, I mean, it takes time. Nonprofits can make something happen like that.
Yeah.
They can make a change in someone's life like that. And that's who really gives me a real gratification, is knowing that, there's some ugly things going on, but nonprofits rise above it all and make things happen. And that's where I like spending my time. That just makes me my heart feel better. It makes me know that there's good things still going on.
Right.
So right now, I'm glad to have that part of my life.
And plus, too, we talked about this a little bit before we got on the show with Deborah Cochran, or Deborah Smith now, newly married, from Greenfield Main Street, about how things have just changed. Not necessarily radio itself, because that has changed immensely, but even on the not-for-profit world, and even with digital and social media and content creating, as far as radio and broadcasting has gone, I mean, since you've started to where it is now with podcasting and with that's changed immensely.
It has changed. It has changed in the sense that you no longer have 4 or 5 radio stations that you can listen to. Listeners now, people now can kind of, I mean, they can pick and choose what they want because of podcasts. So it's taken a little bit away from radio. I think there was a time when radio was a little concerned, especially when, well, I don't know how to word this. I guess it's just that your numbers aren't what they used to be when it comes to ratings, although WIBC is doing very, very well in the ratings. Number two, number one, they go back and forth. But the Emma's Cluster does very, very well. Emma's Cluster is Hank FM, 1070 The Fan, or 107.5 The Fan, which is a sports station. WIBC, who am I missing?
Network Indiana.
Network Indiana, which covers the whole state. I think I'm missing something. Oh, B105. That's the Emma's Cluster.
You forgot the one that I was...
I know! I forgot about B105, who always is on top. So they do very well in their ratings, but you don't see those giant ratings that you may have seen, like 15 years ago with big shares of markets, and that is because I believe it's because of podcasts and that ability for people to listen to what they really want to listen to. And they have that choice to listen to that in their cars, any place they are, they can pick and choose what they want. So radio has a challenge, and that is that podcasts have become very popular, and there's a lot of them.
Not necessarily just, I mean, even podcasting, but, you know, radio in a whole, it's not just you guys, everybody thinks, I think, oh, I'm listening to radio, this is all they do. Or this, you know, I've got this, they're playing country music, or they're playing Christmas music, and from November, Thanksgiving on through Christmas. There's more into that. Events are a big thing with radio stations and a communications company. So with COVID hitting, that put probably a pretty big impact on the way things were ran, and that, you know, that scheme of things at MS. So what was the kind of coordination or reaction to that as far as the promotion side of, you know, trying to, you know, on whether it's the sales department or the promotion side, trying to figure out ways to be creative. I mean, that probably put a big impact on, you know, events and show sponsors and sales.
It sure did. And everybody's been challenged by it. And the word this year, I think 2020's word is pivot. And everybody has had to learn to pivot and figure out what to do now to still connect with your listeners and with those clients and with those sponsors. Everybody's struggling. And so to do that, you know, everybody went virtual and reaching listeners, and not only on air, but then virtually with maybe putting a concert online. Where, you know, you can sign up and you can be a part of this virtual concert, but we'll only have a limited number. That's kind of the route that we've gone. Now things are starting to change now, and things have opened up a bit, and things will come back, but with face masks, with social distancing, your numbers aren't going to be as large as they were. And this is kind of something that you don't really have an end date. You only know how watching those numbers of COVID cases rising and hospitalizations, you're knowing that, well, I guess it's not over yet, even though we are getting out more and we are going into restaurants now. But those numbers are still rising, and everybody's just trying to figure out what the future is when it is so uncertain. That's another one of those 2020 words, uncertainty. And that's what radio has had to learn to do. And we've figured that out. And it seems to be working. People love, you know, we've all kind of learned that we kind of like doing virtual. You know, it's kind of nice to sit at your house and not have to you know, go any place at the moment and watch a great concert and be a part of that and be connected. Everybody's trying to do that. Television is doing that. Radio is doing that. Everybody's doing that.
The only thing with concerts is what I get most when I go into concerts is the people watching the drunk guy that fell down the hill, tumbling down.
Well, think how many people used the drive-in this year.
That's actually nuts.
It's really interesting how people, even nonprofits, to do their awards ceremonies and things have all gone virtual at the drive-in, where people can stay safe in their cars. Some of the Actors Theater of Indiana, they are those you know, those great shows perhaps you would see at the Palladium or whatever. It all went to the drive-in. Those country concerts, those country music concerts at the drive-in. The drive-in has really come back to life.
Drive-in had the best year they've had in 20.
So fantastic. For the Tibbs out on the south side of Indianapolis, they have been full with all kinds of events. And then there's been pop-up drive-ins that people have created. That to just have a big blow-up screen, and you go out into a field, and you have a movie night for families. So the drive-in has become very popular again in a way to promote your events and still have great movies, but there haven't been very many great movies that have been released. So it's been a really interesting summer how things have worked.
Absolutely.
And also a very grateful summer. It's been interesting to find out how much we really appreciate our heroes that are working in hospitals, our first responders. There's been a great surge of remembering how important those people are and appreciating them, and that's been wonderful to see, that outpouring of people just bringing pizzas and delivering pizzas to hospital rooms or to hospitals, and it's been kind of neat how we figured out how to do it in the midst of a crisis.
Absolutely, and like you said, we appreciate the first responders and healthcare workers.
Absolutely.
And correctional officers.
Oh, you all did such a great job appreciating them and showing them how much you cared for them by giving them 2-seater rides out at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
I can't wait to get mine. It's now getting to the point where it's too cold, but hopefully we'll be able to do that here when spring hits
I hope so.
again.
You will.
But kind of going back to, you know, what we're thanking these first responders for, not only just during COVID and the crisis that this world has gone through the past 6, 7, 8 months, in the whole, but working downtown, and Emmis is located on Monument Circle.
Yeah.
Working downtown, and now obviously with election, there was things on the news the last couple of nights about people boarding up their windows and doors so there's rioting doesn't happen. What was that, when that all took place, working downtown? I know you weren't down there every single day, but seeing the destruction of the property and the monuments, how awful was that to see?
It was very sad. It's been our home down on Monument Circle for couple decades now, and it was very hard to see your neighbors and your friends. I mean, these are mom and pop shops, so many of them, and to see that devastation, it just was unbelievable to think that you think of that sort of thing maybe happening in big giant cities, and you don't think of it as something that could occur right in the heart of Indiana, in Indianapolis, but it did, and it was devastating. And I think we have about 20 to 30% of the workforce that are back downtown, and that's for a number of reasons, a couple reasons. The pandemic for one, but the other part is, people are just working from home. But right after that devastation, it was unbelievable. That's all I can say. I was there the weekend of the riots. I was there working the first day on Sunday morning, and to come downtown after that Saturday night, after 2 days of riot, 2 nights of rioting, and the smell of, the tear gas and the destruction and the anger and the words and that were all written. I saw it before it was all boarded up, so I saw it was just awful. It was just, there's no words to describe what it was. It was terribly sad. There were every emotion. You were mad that it happened. You were sad that it happened. And then seeing it that morning, that Sunday morning, and then seeing it that Sunday afternoon after everything was boarded up, it was a sea of plywood. And it was like nothing I'd ever seen in this city. It just didn't seem real. But the part that was, again, with that Hoosier spirit, again, words that are probably overused, but there truly is a Hoosier spirit, and that in the sense that as everybody was cleaning up, people were coming from all over Indiana to help in the cleanup, not knowing these people, not knowing the owners of these businesses, but there to help and to clean up and to bring coffee and donuts and food for everybody that was doing the cleanup. And then, that Hoosier spirit was alive and well, as it always is, as we've seen time and time again. But it makes me sad to think about now, to think about how that, it could happen again.
Right.
You just never know that it could happen again, and you'd hate that. Those are people we know and people we love and people that were already struggling because of the pandemic, that were already not being able to open because, by the pandemic, those restaurants and everything, they were already very challenged. And then to see the destruction, they couldn't believe it. There were people that were just, I talked to the lady of Five that owned Five Guys, and their building was all windows, their corner. And it was, she had no words. She just had no words. But as you walked through, the tear gas was still in the air. Mm. And so there were people that were still smelling that gas, and everybody was trying to, put milk and things to try to help your eyes, and everybody really came together. But we just can't afford to let that happen again. Right. And therefore, so after the election, we're hoping that things settle down and things, I don't know if there is what's normal anymore. Right. You just don't know. I mean, it's just been, as you all know, in Hancock County, it's just been a terrible, terrible 2020.
I think there's
good things too that have happened.
I think the good thing is, it's horrible to see all that happen, but it's like kind of now we're prepared. I mean, you think the worst of worst could happen. I mean, right. There's a couple things I can think of worse. I'm not going to mention, but I feel like it's given us all a chance to be able to prepare, and things all the time aren't going to be perfect, and whether it's life or whether it's business, whatever it is. So having that preparation and being prepared, and whether it's an action plan or what, it's been nice. Done with the sad stuff. Let's quit talking about that.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Okay.
Let's bring it back to Hancock County. You got 5 things.
Let's do.
I'm going to ask you. I got some 5 questions I want to rattle off to you.
Okay.
If my ADHD mind can stay on topic here. I think I know where this first question is going to be.
Okay.
You got a favorite hobby, whether it's at home, work, whatever it may be, you have something that's near and dear to you that you love doing.
We love fishing. My husband and I, it's the one thing that my husband and I like together. He loves golf, I don't love golf. But we both do love fishing. We love fishing, we love traveling, we love driving these back roads of Hancock County. I now love taking pictures of old barns. And Hancock County still has a few good old barns that I love, these old historic barns. But I still love just driving around, as I always have, the back roads of Hancock County. I love the back roads. I am one that still loves cornfields and soybean fields and that smell of farm. And
You're
so
one of the only.
Maybe I am. Sometimes, and I don't mean to say this in a negative way, but sometimes I want progress to slow down a little bit. And I know that's not good for everybody. Sometimes I want progress to slow down a little bit so I can still selfishly have those country roads with farms and barns and animals. And God bless the farmers. I've always been a wannabe farmer. Always. I won't be, because
you always will be one.
I will always be a wannabe farmer. Yeah, I do. I'm one of those that still loves a blue FFA jacket and still loves those back roads. And Hancock County still has a lot of good ones.
Well, every time now that I walk or drive past, whether it's a cow pasture or we drive past a pig farm, and we just my mind's a horrific smell. And the kids are in the back, and she's like, "Oh, it stinks." I'm up thinking back in my head, well, Terri Stacy loves that smell.
I love that smell. I really
as I'm
do.
gagging.
That goes back to just being a Knightstown kid and growing up around a dairy farm and horse farms and corn and soybeans and just loving that fresh smell of farming.
That's awesome.
I love it.
Well,
that's it.
Can't say we have that in common. We'll move on to the next one on that note.
All right.
Favorite flavor of ice cream?
Oh, I love all ice cream, but I would guess it's going to be butter pecan.
Any specific brand, or is it just
any butter pecan? Any kind of butter pecan. But I also like chocolate and I like strawberry, and I've grown to love vanilla, and I love ice cream.
I remember when we were out at events for WIBC out at the Dairy Barn at the
Oh my
Fair.
gosh, yes.
I'm the milkshakes.
Yes, yes, and that's the one thing I did miss about this past year is the Great Indiana State Fair and the Dairy Bar.
The Dairy Bar was amazing.
Grilled cheese sandwiches and a milkshake.
I loved working because
wow.
the promotions, the events people would go out and we would get these coupons that would be for
That's
free.
That's how we fed you.
Yeah.
That's how you
Hey, go out and sit in the hot sun for 5 to 10 hours a day, handing out bags,
right.
And then we're gonna give you a free grilled cheese sandwich and a milkshake. Yes, I couldn't wait. But no, I love that was probably one of my favorite milkshakes are my go-to, especially on a hot day. I love it.
Absolutely.
Good
And you can't get better than at the Dairy Bar.
No.
Indiana Dairy Bar farmers.
Hopefully that'll
God
happen.
bless 'em.
Hopefully that'll happen coming up here next year. Favorite color?
Favorite color? Oh my gosh, I guess that would be favorite color is blue.
Okay.
Colts blue.
The Colts are doing phenomenal right now.
They
It's awesome
really
to
are.
see. Awesome to see.
Yeah.
Cross your fingers.
Cross your fingers.
Stay healthy.
Colt blue. It's a gorgeous color. It's kind of this color.
It is. It's kind of like that
Yeah,
color.
I kind of like that. Yeah, all American.
Staying in Hancock County. So we've got butter pecan, favorite ice cream.
Yeah.
Favorite color is Colts blue.
Yeah. Favorite food is hometown pizza.
You're ruining my question.
I'm sorry. I thought
You're
of it.
ruining my question.
When you said ice cream, I went right to pizza. And I pray that hometown pizza opens any day now.
It's soon. It's got to be soon.
I know it. New
It's
location.
got to be soon.
But I had a craving for it the other night, and nothing would do. My husband was like, "Well, we can go get pizza someplace." I said, "No." In my mouth is hometown pizza, and I have to wait. I love it.
Well,
I
here's
love it.
Yeah, okay. So
I'm a Monty's fan.
have you had Jeff's Pizza in Knightstown?
I have had Jeff's
Okay.
Pizza in Knightstown.
I had it for the first time last night.
What'd you think?
Well, like I said, hometown pizza is different in the way that they make their
Yeah.
pizza. It's that different taste to it. But I had a sausage, just traditional sausage and pepperoni with
Do you
cheese
like
on
it?
top from Jeff's Pizza Knightstown, and it
Is it close?
It was pretty
It's pretty
daggone close. I don't know if it's because I haven't had hometown pizza in forever.
Maybe so, but it's close.
It's very.
Let me tell
very
you, can I
close.
tell you? Okay, so somebody told us the other day, they said, I loved school pizza.
I did too. The rectangle pizza.
Rectangle pizza.
Yeah, me too.
People will say, "Oh, that's horrible." I loved it, and so I've been on the search for it, and I would put on my social media, I'm looking for it. Somebody tells me, go to Dave's Meat Market, Greenfield.
I knew that for some reason.
Went in, there it is. Squares, you get it at a 9x13.
Pre-cut, right?
But it's pre-cut for you after you cook it. It's pretty close.
I'm gonna have to give it a chance.
Oh, you gotta give it a try. And good chili too at Dave's Meat Market. And ham salad.
And meat.
And meat, of course, yeah. But
meat.
it's the pizza I went for just to learn, and now I'm trying other things there, and now I understand why the lines are long, and I understand why everybody loves ham salad from there. Great little place, a great little hidden gem. But if you love school pizza, this is pretty close at Dave's Meat Market.
Well, glad to know that. I might have to stop. Well, maybe not tonight because I had pizza last night. We have tons of leftovers, but
okay. Good to know about Jeff's Pizza.
Pretty daggone close. Even though no Hancock County,
okay.
Hint, hint, Jeff's Pizza. Shout out local. No free ads. Well, since my question was going to be favorite local place to eat,
yeah,
hometown pizza is it.
Yeah.
What about favorite local shop or shops?
Cynthia's Hallmark.
Okay.
Cynthia's Hallmark. I knew Cynthia. Cynthia passed away from Alzheimer's not long ago. But Cynthia's Hallmark's been around now for maybe 20 some years.
Quite a long time.
Quite a long time. Family's still running the business. They said, we're going to keep it up and running. They also struggled, like so many others, during the pandemic. But they have rebounded. They're back at it. And I love that shop.
That's awesome.
Love Cynthia's Hallmark. It feels like home. It's a great place for me to... if I'm having a kind of a rough day, to go into Cynthia's Hallmark, you walk in, the smells, the feeling of comfort is at Cynthia's Hallmark.
Spends all of her money.
And I just love it there. I love what they're very involved in community here.
Kelly, you know Kelly then?
I do.
Kelly's awesome.
Kelly, the daughter, and I'll tell you, they're good people. They're really good people, and I'm happy they're still here.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Have you been to the new ice cream place in Fortville, Libbys?
Wait, I have, but what led me there was to an event. I haven't spent a lot of time in Fortville. I wasn't even certain that Fortville was really a town.
We need to. I need to get some people from that side of town on the show.
You should.
We can go up there
because
one day.
That's a great little town.
It is.
I had no idea. Driving through Fortville, you think you just drive through, but there's a little town, a little town of Fortville, and Libbys Ice Cream. Awesome. We did go in it, and I had butter pecan. I did. I had it. It's reasonably priced. It's as good of ice cream as you'll ever find. Libbys Ice Cream. Thank you for reminding me.
That place, we went up there. 'Cause I was thinking the last couple of years, I'm like, you know what? Whenever you go to South, Orange Beach, Alabama, or Florida, or something, you always got to go get a soft serve ice cream.
You do.
Cone, and just load it up top, big as you can.
Yep.
Spill it everywhere. And then one day, I'm like, it just opened or something. I saw it on social media. I go, we need a soft serve ice cream place here in Hancock County. And I saw that, I'm like, let's go. We loaded the car up, went up there. I love that place.
I do too.
I know the mug has some flavors of soft serve, but I mean that's all they do is ice cream and have a little bit of some fun candy and stuff like that.
Yeah. Sometimes you forget we have ice cream here in an ice cream shop. We obviously have a Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
But you can the mug. Obviously, you can get a little ice cream there, which is good. I mean, they have some really good scooped hard ice cream.
Especially the root beer floats or.
Yeah. See, that's why Greenfield is such a gem. It really is a gem. Again, mom and pop locally owned, operated stores and shops and restaurants, and there's a lot of good ones. I'm old enough that I remember when Greenfield still had what you needed. But it didn't. I mean, I've seen it just grow where you don't have to leave Greenfield for anything.
You don't.
Everything is really right here, and that's what I really love it, and that's why I stay here in Hancock County. I love it.
And that's what it's about, Terri. I mean, we talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
Supporting our local businesses. Even not during the pandemic, even more so then, but also now. I mean, continue to support those local businesses because they put money back in the pockets of the community.
It's a truth.
For roads. Their little shout out there, but for other organizations and to support the not-for-profits and all those good things. So keep on shopping local businesses and because they are what make the world go around and all that good.
Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
What do you think Greenfield needs? I've thought of this only for my own personal benefit to think, what can I open, what can I do? But what do you think Greenfield needs? Do you think they need a Sloppy Joe restaurant?
I hate Sloppy Joe's. Don't even say that ever again. I'd love a seafood place.
Oh, a seafood place would be good.
Because, I mean, you can go to, like, Wasabi, the hibachi place,
Yeah.
and get, scallops and all that good stuff, but I like crab legs and...
I do too. I didn't think about that.
Lobster tail. And,
right.
And you get there's that place in Castleton that used to, I think there's one downtown, is it Yummy Crab or...
Yummy Crab.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, something like, I would like a seafood place.
Or like a Kaplinger's, like a fish market.
Correct, yeah.
Where you can get your fresh fish and stuff. I don't think there's anything like that.
You can go to Gettinger's in New Palestine off of 52. Gettinger's has salmon, tilapia. They have more of a variety of fish.
Across from Needler's?
Needler's, yeah. Try that.
I've never tried that.
Try there. And they have a whole bunch of like frozen stuff that they've.
Okay.
I mean, I would give it a check out there.
Okay. But I can't think of anything really that you do need.
No, I mean, there's
That's too
shops.
bad for me because I'd like to open something. Do you need food trucks?
I think we've kind of got some food trucks.
You
here.
do?
I mean, the guy who owns the Mug, who also owns Grigsby Station and the Mug in Irvington, he has a company called Cluster Truck, which is another food service business.
I didn't know Cluster
But he
Trucks
does.
was
I'm pretty sure he's got some food trucks. But you're right. I mean, we don't really have. From off the top of my mind.
What would they use? Would they be a success here?
Other than the like small little street
I
events,
guess
I
you
don't
don't
think
really
it's
need
that big, too big of a deal.
Yeah, you don't need a food truck.
No.
Criminy.
What about you? Any other thoughts on that?
No, I mean I've thought of a food truck for myself. Again, selfishly trying to think what Greenfield needs or Hancock County needs.
So you're wanting to start your own thing?
Yeah, but I can't think of anything. I really can't think of anything. You have everything here.
How about a place where they can get a free smile by walking in and seeing your face? You just stand there for 12 hours straight and you just smile.
Yeah, that's not going to make me any money at all. Not a penny. But anyway, I'm curious to know if there's other things that Greenfield would like to have here.
There you go. If you know of something something, leave them in the comment section.
Please.
Of this post right here, and then, we'll see if we can get Terri to open up something. We don't need a strip club. We don't need any of that.
No.
So put in some realistic stuff that you think Greenfield needs. Parks are doing well, growing. Everything's growing, and it's awesome stuff.
I can't think of anything that you do need, but fish is interesting. I like the fish concept.
Cool.
A good seafood restaurant.
I'm in for that.
Yeah. Okay. Deal.
So, well, I'm gonna let Terri go. She got a busy day. It is election day. Happy election day. Go out, go out and vote. I just said go out and vote, but the show won't be shown until tomorrow. So, but go out and vote anyways. I might put a little teaser out there.
I'm proud of you, by the way.
Terri, I appreciate you doing
awesome.
the show.
I've known him for a long time, and I'm really proud of where you are.
One quick question.
Yes.
Do you have a funny story about me, or do you?
A funny story about you?
That when I was at the radio station?
I only know this. I only know that we've come across a lot of people, and when Mitch Gibson started working at Emma's Communications, he is one of those that you just don't forget. He made himself available to every employee. Every employee knew him. He was not a person that sat in a corner and was shy, and you just knew good things were going to come to you. I've told you that from the beginning. You deserve good, and you have earned good, and you are doing very well, and we're really proud of you.
Well, I appreciate that. The only corner I got in at this was when we worked late events, or we had early morning events, and Terri in her office, big office, underneath Terri's second desk, kind of had it where it was hidden, but behind there, underneath the desk was like a unfoldable bed.
That's right.
Oh my cushion, gosh. Like it was like an unfoldable cushion seat.
Right.
And you'd unfold it, and I would go in there and take a nap or fall asleep for a little while because those events would be late.
Now that I'm thinking about that,
how
many people have
I don't want to ask about that.
That is something that's probably had to be thrown away. But time and time again, our part-timers, our interns, that was where they slept, was in that awful
radio is so fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, radio is so fun.
It's a blast.
So fun. It is. It's always going to be in your blood.
It will be.
Look,
I love
look what you're doing.
Yeah, well, that's what it is for me too. It's like I want to do something that I went to school for telecommunications, and I love the insurance, but still having a little passion for something else is great to do. So, well, Terri, I appreciate your time today. Appreciate you joining the show. appreciate Deborah for sitting in and listening. Hopefully she's got some great things coming up for Greenfield, and I challenge you guys to go follow Greenfield Main Street on Facebook and everything, and follow along for their success and what she's got planned. Go follow Terri on all social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of the above, probably.
Yeah,
you
everything,
can find her.
if you want.
You can find her. So, well, Terri, once again, appreciate it.
Thank you.
From the Remax Realty Group Studios, thanks for tuning in to the show today. Always remember that you can make a difference in Hancock County. We'll see you guys next time, and don't forget to go like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys. Take care.